there's more than just dollars and cents at play. It's the mental aspect and the emotional aspect of those that are going through this process. So it leaves you with a sense of being, I guess, humble and empathetic. And I think that's probably a good thing to have as an insolvency practitioner, so you can do your job as best as you can. Hi, I'm Adrian Franco. I'm one of the assistant managers here at O'Brien Palmer. I've been here just shy of 9 years. So as an assistant manager on the Chris Palmer Liam Bailey team, most of my role is to administer and help manage the personal insolvencies of O'Brien Palmer. So that includes bankruptcies or Section 73s, Part 10s, things like that. We've had a matter recently where we saw a fantastic outcome with a Part 10 agreement where the return rate was in excess of 16 cents, which is a pretty good outcome in insolvency, and the creditors were happy with our work. The debtor was extremely happy because he was able to get that compromise over the line, and he can effectively start fresh from a financial point of view. So I guess my path into insolvency is quite interesting insofar as it started when I was quite young. I had some family members that had gone through some financial difficulties, and growing up through that, it gives you a bit of a different aspect to how things are run from the other side of the coin, I guess, from being the insolvency practitioner. So growing up, being able to understand the impacts of financial issues, and then working through education, university, getting an accounting degree with the goal and ambition to then go into insolvency was, I guess, a different path to others, but it's what got me to O'Brien Palmer. I guess one example from growing up and seeing the insolvency process work is when I accompanied my dad on one Saturday afternoon. He said that he had to do a favour for a friend of his who happened to be a liquidator. We had to pick up some books and records, which is quite a mundane activity when you work in insolvency, but as a 7, 8-year-old it was quite exciting. So we go to this gentleman's office, and the office is completely bare. There's only one box that he's sitting on and another box next to him with records in there. So we collected the records, and I'm going home with Dad, and I'm asking him what we're actually doing, and he explained the process to me, and I just saw how incredibly impactful an insolvency practitioner can be on someone's life, and how it can affect them emotionally with mental health, because the way that the man was dealing with us, even as young as I was, you could see that this was quite an emotional thing for him, and that's something that stuck with me through my life, really. And it's a story that I always remember. It comes in and out of memory, whilst at work, and it does remind me that there's more than just dollars and cents at play. It's the mental aspect and the emotional aspect of those that are going through this process. So it leaves you with a sense of being, I guess, humble and empathetic. And I think that's probably a good thing to have as an insolvency practitioner, so you can do your job as best as you can and actually get the proper outcomes for creditors and for directors or bankrupts, so that at the end of the day everyone can come out of the process refreshed and without that emotional burden still being carried. Even with bankruptcies recently, again, we've paid a dividend where we got some nice feedback from the creditors, which doesn't happen all the time, but we got some very nice feedback saying how this money, especially during this cost of living crisis, is going to help greatly with their personal expenses, helping their kids go through school and just things like that. So to hear the more human aspect of what we do day to day does give you a bit of a sense of pride, really, that you are making a positive difference in the lives of others, even during the most stressful and financial burden they're going to experience, hopefully during their lifetime. So my role here isn't just an assistant manager on the Chris Palmer Liam Bailey team. I also help with our footy tipping comps. We hold an annual Christmas appeal where we collect toys and donations and give to Children's Hospital. We also have O'Brien Palmer football teams, which at the moment we're doing quite well, and I think we've just hit the semi-finals, so I'm pretty proud of the boys and girls there. So with our footy team, we're playing in a local CBD comp where we play other firms, insolvency practitioners, lawyers, things like that. So not only is it a good reason for us to go outside, get a bit of vitamin D, a bit of exercise, but also helps with networking and building new relationships through sport and things like that. So last year we actually entered into a touch footy competition where we reached the grand final but just fell short. It would have been better if we had things work in our favour, like Daniel Friskin playing, but unfortunately he was out drinking his kombucha and getting all dressed up as stylish as we all know he can be. So with my insolvency journey, I started at Worrells in 2009 and I was working under Craig Tinkler, Liam Bailey and Rob Clapham, who I coincidentally still work with today. So I did 5 years at Worrells and now, like I said earlier, 9 years at O'Brien Palmer with these three gents who I now consider very, very close mates. And it's been something that's been really positive in my life, having those close relationships, friendships and working relationships. They've always been people that I can speak to with personal matters or obviously work-related matters, and it's very fun, rewarding to go to work every day knowing that you're working not just with very capable people but your mates as well. So I really love coming to work every day at O'Brien Palmer. I guess really O'Brien Palmer is more than just an insolvency firm. It's a place where people do come together to seek financial outcomes for creditors and for directors, debtors, things like that, but also to give back to the community, like I said, with our annual Christmas drive, which we will be doing again this year. And I invite everyone out there to please dig deep, donate some toys, new toys, old toys. Cash donations are great as well. Hospital needs as much as we can give, and at the end of the day it is for the kids. So on behalf of O'Brien Palmer, I look forward to hopefully meeting a lot of you and seeing you guys towards the end of the year, and hopefully the drive will be just as positive and as successful as it was last year. If anyone out there is experiencing any financial hardship and they'd like to come speak to us, like I said, we offer bankruptcy assistance through Part 10, Section 73s, or just the bankruptcy process, liquidations, voluntary administrations, and as well as small business restructures as well. It's a fairly new concept, but we've had quite a successful rate with O'Brien Palmer with our SBRs, so please make contact with our firm. We'll be more than happy to have a chat. Exclusively under Liam... Jesus, I was like Liam Palmer, sorry.
That's cool. Adrian, I'm going to request you to do all the videos from now on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I should just shut
You're
my mouth.
nailing it.
Well, my girlfriend says I just love to talk to hear the sound of my own voice, so it could be an aspect that he's going to kill me for that.